welcome everyone to Riding with the Marks.
Woo!
What in the turkey... Wait, what was it? Turkey Fresh?
Oh, shit.
What in the Turkey Fresh hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a line in the PG-13
That
movie.
is, it was glorious. Move aside, Falcon and Winter Soldier. We have a new team that are just ready to save the world.
Is that because one's black, one's white? Is that your best comparison?
Yeah, basically. I don't know.
So we are doing our non-spoiler review of Hobbs and Shaw, or Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Get it right.
Long title.
I think the unanimous decision of the best way to describe this movie was ridiculous. Just
this, if you want to say something that is fun, I'm like, this was fun in a really stupid way. It was just insane. Smile ear to ear.
Yeah.
For the majority of this movie.
Out there, pretty decent humor. It's PG-13. It just craziness, all out craziness. Exactly what you would expect if you have seen a glimmer of any of the Fast and Furious movies. It's exactly what you would expect.
I think this
turns it up a notch. Yeah.
Well, actually, I haven't seen the last 2 or 3 Fast and Furious.
I think the last one I saw was 5.
Yeah, I think that might have been the last one I've seen. I know I think the last one I remember seeing a trailer had a submarine chasing them. In Lamborghinis and shit.
Sounds about right.
So maybe this doesn't quite talk to that, but
it is definitely out there. But it's in a very entertaining and, as Matt put it, fun way. It was just one of those things where you just kind of shake your head. You have to turn your brain off. There is no critiquing this. There's no depth
They even kind of admit it's not like I think it's like an aware movie too.
It is, yeah.
It's a very self-aware movie of exactly what it is. They even kind of chime to some of their other movies too that they've done,
or past things. There's a couple things that I know are intentional in terms of The Rock, that are lines or whatever that come across. Kind of think of his old movies, like Walking Tall, where they always had like a glimmer of his professional wrestling career, and this kind of has a little bit of that, and
it was quite a bit. Actually.
Yeah, and so it was just it was a crazy movie. I enjoyed the cast really well. Obviously, Jason Statham, The Rock. Fantastic fucking job.
There's actually some unexpected cameos.
Yeah, some glorious cameos. We won't ruin it for you, but fucking great. Yeah, it's great surprises.
There's at least 2 cameos that we are aware of.
Yeah.
And and they are very well done cameos. I loved them very immensely.
Yes, and I think a lot of this movie just works. There's some great moments. A lot of it are the tropes that you would expect from this type of movie. The way that it cuts, some of the action scenes. Of course, there's going to be car chase scenes. There was several of them in this movie. I think I remember 3.
There's always a fight, and then it leads into a car chase.
Yep.
It's standard practice.
Usually, but great.
Just pick a different location.
Great dialogue.
Define great dialogue.
Great dialogue in that I felt that it was witty and kind of caught you off guard a little bit.
Especially
it was actually creative.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Mainly
The Rock and Statham.
Mainly that. Everything else, like the story, was pretty basic, but mainly that. And their one-liners, it worked incredibly well. I was very surprised, or maybe not surprised, but happy to see that the way that they kind of play off of each other. It almost kind of reminds me of just improv type. I'm curious to see if they improvised some of the lines in this and then just took kind of the best ones sometimes that you would see in some movies from different comedians and stuff. It came across that way. So fantastic job from them. Yeah, the other dialogue that had to do with the story, it was just there. It moved the story along enough.
Idris Elba, I mean, he wasn't like the greatest villain ever, but I fucking loved it when he was on screen.
Yeah,
he loved the way he talked.
Fantastic job. And I don't know,
the presence he held was just.
I feel like this movie leads you to believe that he has been in previous Fast and Furious. I don't know if he has or not. To my knowledge, unfortunately, I don't. I'm not well kept on
Fast and Furious aficionado.
Yeah, exactly, on this whole series, but they kind of build to a little bit of a backstory with him and some of the characters, and they kind of tie it together well. And there's a heartfelt kind of message behind all of it, behind the entire movie that they're definitely trying to project, which I guess it works.
It's the Fast and Furious way, family.
Yep.
It's all about family, and then this one definitely lands into that Fast and Furious, world of family.
Yeah. So turns it up a notch. Action, crazy.
Shaky cam though was getting a little overkill.
Yeah.
We were even talking as we were leaving, like, when did this shaky cam phase start kicking? Because I've watched some movies from like the early 2000s, and it's just camera set, and guys actually have to do choreography.
Yeah.
Right, and they have to make it look real and shit. And then, I don't know, I say it's the Bourne movies actually made it popular, and then people have just bastardized the whole
That
thing.
might be it, because I definitely remember it being in the Bourne movies, but I don't remember it bugging me as much until more recent years. Maybe it's because I'm getting old and my brain can't keep up. I have no idea. But it definitely, that would be one gripe that I have with this movie is, yeah, most of the action was decent, but they do utilize shaky cam. But it's in different moments. It's not every action scene. Matt had brought up a specific scene that I think is in some of the clips that kind of came out.
Yeah, the trailers.
The trailers and stuff, where The Rock is walking through, and he's in one room, and Jason Statham is in the other room, and Jason Statham's kind of fighting all these guys. It was actually backed out a little bit,
and it was steady for the most part.
Yeah, and some of the quick cuts and stuff that they used in some of the action scenes, especially early on, I actually enjoyed. I thought were kind of cool. They utilized slow motion a ton, but it almost, like, in the car chase scenes, they do it well to where you can kind of see a little bit more what's going on. And obviously there's some ridiculous craziness with motorcycles and stuff where you're like, okay. Yeah, sure.
And the technology too.
Yeah,
the technology.
It's advanced.
It was really well advanced, and also the slow-mo, as you're talking about, in the final fight actually had some really good use.
Yeah, and made me laugh.
But I thought it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, they did a good job with it.
It was kind of Watchmen-ish, slow motion punching and stuff, but in the rain.
Sure.
So it was, but I guess it could be comedic effect. Watching The Rock's face get squinched by a punch,
right?
And shit.
Statham's as well. Yeah.
So it was definitely a fun movie. Now, see, if you're looking for entertainment, shut your brain off, and it's not that the dialogue isn't terrible that it takes you out of the movie like certain Godzilla movies did this year, and Captain Marvel movies.
Certain Godzilla movies,
and it doesn't take you out of it so much. This keeps you in there. There's some hokey moments. I mean, there's one part...
Pretty much the whole 2.5 hours or whatever this was, 2 hours and 15 minutes, was pretty hokey. But yeah, it keeps you entertained enough to where you're still into the movie, enjoying it. And I thought it was a decent movie. Matt made a joke saying this might be movie of the year, and I kind of... Wait, it might be, actually.
I mean, John Wick 3 for me personally would probably be movie of the year.
Okay.
But this is definitely, I don't know, I smiled. I enjoyed myself. It was ridiculously over top, a lot of CGI, but a lot of real shit too. I would love to know the budget on this. We should have looked it up as we were walking out here, but I would love to know, because they destroyed a lot of cars.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know
just a lot of shit. They just destroyed. There were moments where randomly shit was blowing up, and you're like, what? What even happened there?
How does that car do that much of an explosion? Did it have C4 in it? Like, this one little go-kart thing just destroys this whole building, and you're like, what?
These different silos that just randomly started blowing up. It reminded me of 21 Jump Street, where they're like, they think the truck that's chasing them is about to blow up, and then it's a chicken truck that blows up or something like that. That's what it kind of reminded me of, where you're not expecting it, and then it just blows up, and then there's a shit ton of flames and everything. You're like, okay, I guess, sure, they had more in that expense to be able to just be like, well, what are we gonna do with this? Oh, let's blow it up. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, we don't want to take anything back with us. supposed to blow it up.
yeah, pretty much.
It's a cool movie. It's kind of a throwback to the 80s, 90s action movies. The overtopness, the one-liners. If you're kind of into that in some way, I think this is for you. And I don't know if they had the volume extra loud or we're fucking old and.
Oh my gosh.
But there's one point where the seats, we're not in like 4D or whatever, where the seats vibrate and shit and stuff like that. But the bass and shit was hitting so fucking hard from those explosions and shit that our seats were vibrating. Like fucking, like, so I was like, holy shit. I've never felt that in any other movie that I can think of, where the seats were literally vibrating from how hard the explosions were hitting.
I made the joke to Matt. I've had a long week at work, a little tired, so if my eyes are twitching, that's why. But I made the joke to Matt. I was like, well, if they keep the volume up this fucking loud, I'm not gonna have any problems making it through the movie.
Shit.
It was cranked. Even in the previews, I was like, holy shit. And maybe it is because we're getting old.
Yeah.
What?
Turn it down.
Dang it.
So I say definitely worth going seeing in theaters. If you just want to go fuck around. Like, I'm not sure. I think it's like a little over 2 hours, but if you just want to mess around and enjoy a movie, like, just that's ridiculous. There is no premise really here. Again, Hollywood also wants to keep this thing where apparently we're gonna kill everything apparently here in like a matter of days.
Yep, they stuck to that theme for sure.
This thing has that as well, which is just obnoxious. But
weird.
But it didn't come in till very late in the movie, and I know I'm trying not to spoil, but I mean, really, there's nothing to spoil here. Like fucking, it's not like the story is what's gonna draw you in on this thing at all. It's the well, that sprinkler's fucked. We got a little geyser right there.
I'm very curious how the box office is gonna go with this movie. Well, there wasn't a whole lot behind it. It seemed like Matt and I had no problems getting tickets. We waited until the last second. Yep, had no problems, and it kind of it filled up maybe half, 3/4 of the way, maybe. If it's lucky. So I'm very curious where it lands.
I'm surprised
in terms of box office
movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And for being The Rock, Jason Statham, like that, those are big money draws. And I'm very curious to kind of see. It definitely came across as people were like, oh, what are we gonna do on this wonderful Thursday night? Let's go see Hobbs and Shaw. So maybe it has a decent opening weekend. Friday, Saturday, maybe more people come out as opposed to a Thursday. But very interesting. It definitely was a blockbuster type movie of the year.
Yeah, that's the blockbusters that you expect.
Yep.
Not much thinking really involved. Bunch of explosions, random shit, good acting, good one-liners. The story doesn't take you out of it.
No,
not really at all. And also, for some reason, I keep going back in my head of Idris Elba. He was a great villain. I don't know why, but like his accent and everything, just fucking, he drew me in every time he was talking, every time he fought. He just had a hell of a fucking presence. He just had a great fucking presence about him and shit. Fuck, man.
I agree.
Dude, I'm Black Superman. Man, that was one of the best fucking lines. Anyway, that shit was great. So definitely, I say go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And in theater, enjoy it as the summer winds down.
Yep. In case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.